what's going on, how we should be thinking about that in the context of what's happening with gold, in the context of what we think is happening with equities.
Yeah, listen, crypto had a great start to the year, post the sell-off. Put in highs, Bitcoin got to 125, and we've had a real consolidation since then. The big deleveraging that happened a week ago, that's not good for markets, right? It wiped out a lot of market makers, means less liquidity. And you can see yesterday we were down and then up 4% and then right back down. And so there's a little less liquidity in the market. It took a lot of retail leverage out of the system. And so the good news is we're less leveraged. The bad news is when Humpty Dumpty breaks, he doesn't get put together right away. It takes a few weeks and sometimes months even for markets to heal itself and regain narrative and regain momentum. I don't think anything fundamentally has changed in the crypto story. Our government continues to spend way more money than they should. And I think as long as the debasement of fiat currencies goes on, crypto is going to be seen and Bitcoin is going to be seen. But, we're in a rangy, softer range right now. And I don't see what changes that. There's a bill in D.C. that needs to get passed, hopefully, in the next 6 weeks. If that does, I think that'll give crypto a real jolt to the upside. That, and as we get closer, every day we wake up is one day closer to the Fed governor transition. And, my base case is still we get a much more dovish, malleable Fed governor than we've had in the past. Yeah, listen, the end of the year is only 2.5 months away. And so there would have to be a heck of a lot of, crazy stuff to really get that kind of momentum. I do think, we should hold 100, 100 or somewhere close to that should be the downside. And on the upside, you don't really accelerate until you take out 125. And so the most likely outlook is we're rangy between, 100 and 120 and 125, unless we take out the top side. We could take out the top side if, the president prematurely makes a move on the Fed, which, they could target that easily by the end of the year. And if this bill gets passed, those are the two kind of catalysts I see.
Going to a different economy. And we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy, and it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And I told you that we would get a first quarter pullback, and that's what happened. And then also I told you that tariffs would get stepped up, and that's what happened. Layoffs would pick up. That's what happened. So the Crypto Teacher gives you a warning like Noah and Gilgamesh, whichever one you want to call it. But we will get some type of reset this year. Most likely stable coins are the catalyst. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten. And more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky, and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back. And of course, guys, the pumping and dumping and dumping and pumping is still here. And we have stocks down But I told you that Bitcoin and crypto is going to be pumping and dumping over these next 2 weeks. Now, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates up. We have the dollar slightly down. We have volume in crypto. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at 4.6 billion yesterday. Make sure you pull it on a daily basis during the week. And we know the Treasury is working in the background to manipulate that long end. And we know the Fed wants to keep rates higher for longer to destroy this legacy market so Trump can build this fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And we have Fed and the mainstream media still calling for rate cuts while the government remains shut down. And like I told you, I definitely don't see this lasting past November 1st. Now we have new tariffs on China will rise to 155% effective November 1st. And we've seen this movie before. All the sanctions, all the tariffs are just creating a new supply chain. These tariffs are not affecting China. Why? Because they've already moved their goods to the emerging markets. The only one that is going to hit is the United States. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Remember, guys, this is a plan. It moves in phases. Now we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs down as I'm doing this video. And we have Hong Kong first spot Solana ETF starts trading on October 27th. Now, getting over into a little crypto news, we have Falcon X to buy 21 shares amid crypto M&A spree. And this is one of the main signals that the switch is about to be flipped. Consolidation is the last phase. We know all this technology is ready. We've now heard it from the Fed. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Aave to integrate Maple's yield-bearing assets. And guys, we know DeFi is definitely the new banking. And then also, we know how important liquidity will be in the fourth industrial revolution. Remember, we're moving off the fractional reserve lending system. Now we have Aptos as another 500 million in BITTLE deposits, bringing it back into the top 3 real-world asset chains. Also, we get major news that Cadena announces it's shutting down operations immediately due to market conditions. And of course, that's an ex-JP Morgan founder. Now, the blockchain will still run, but anytime you have those liquidity shocks, and we know these shocks are caused on purpose by the big banks, and this is another signal that they're ready to flip the switch, because you have Cadena going from a market cap of $4 billion, winding all the way down to $23 million. And this blockchain had a use case, and you have so many cryptos that don't have a use case and still sitting at hundreds of millions of dollars. Remember, guys, this is a plan. It moves in phases. And again, remember, the founder is a JP Morgan engineer. And they say due to market conditions and that liquidity shock that we recently had is going to affect a whole lot more projects. Because again, this just shows you how connected this space is when it comes to all this money that's being thrown at these projects. It's time for the central banks to take it back, because it's time to build. 2026, 2028, it's time to build. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have OpenAI just launched its own browser called ChatGPT Atlas. And the way we get information from these browsers are definitely about to change. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the NHL deal with Kalshi and Polymarket. Guys, it's opening up the casino, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And then we also had DraftKings just make a deal with prediction markets Railbird. And like I told you, 60% of the economy is going to be based off of gaming and betting. People are going to be sitting at home getting free money. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then lastly, we have Mike Novogratz speaking about the liquidity shocks, the pumping and dumping. And he states that leverage came out of the system, but guys, we still have plenty more. And we know that central banks and big banks are the cause of all this leverage. And once they pull it, the whole system is going to fall in the hands of the big banks and the central banks. Guys, we've seen this movie before. Remember, it's a plan. It moves in phases. And we got Mike Novogratz speaking about predictions and how quickly they fall. Remember, guys, 225, 250, 1 million by 2025. But we know the crypto teacher keeps you in reality. I told you, keep your eye on the Fed. And then also the only catalyst we had was these altcoin spot ETFs. And since the government is closed, we know the SEC is not going to do anything. And they're not flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Not just yet. But all that money is going to start flowing in 2026 to 2028, where they're going to take this whole system, tokenize it, and put it on blockchain. And that's when we get the utility bull run. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books.